All right, so I'm back. Apparently, a phone call stops your recording from happening. So, so right now, what I was starting to do was remove the ignition coils, and they were down. So I just lifted them up, and they kind of pushed the wires out at the same time. So I'm going to keep lifting those up to get those out. And I know I still have to do it with back there, but I figure I'll get out as many things as I can that's easy first, and then deal with the difficult thing once I have to get back there. I'm gonna pull these coils out. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because it was the sleeve, that little metal sleeve that's in there, that was ended up getting kind of bent up when I was removing the number 6 one. So I ended up moving that bent up one to the front, and I had to kind of like really force the ignition coil back in. So it's really just a little metal sleeve. I already picked up one again from the dealer. I picked up a new one. Just as you can see, it's nothing, but I needed it, and I have it now, and I'll replace it when I do get it out of there. And so I'm gonna go to number 2 first, so because I know that one's gonna be difficult. And what I do, I like to just slide my, if you guys can see that, I like to just slide anything up in there. And here's my flat end, and then just pull up. Some are easy, some are hard to come out, but this helps get that grip. And there we go. And see, it's coming out now. This normally don't happen. It's only because I didn't lock it in last time. But I'll get it. It's laying right down there by the radiator. I'll get that one out. But normally it don't come out that easy, so don't expect that. They usually stay in there when you take yours out. So I'm just removing the ignition coils. So this is number 2, and I'm going to put these in a row up here. All right. I'm gonna try number 1. Wasn't bad. That's the bent up one, as you can see what it looks like. So as you can see, it doesn't have the ring down there anymore. The side is much wider. There's a big dent in there, so that's why I replaced that one. So this is number 1, and I'll put that on up and out of the way, and keep going on the others. I love that they're coming out right with that, because what happened was it was hard to get them out of there. Well, it wasn't hard. I guess I was probably a little lazy, which I shouldn't be when I'm doing this. But what it is that the outward pressure holds this in. So what you need to do is, because you'll be able to see from the side, I don't know if you can see that, but there are these holes right here. So when it's inside the sleeve, what you need to do is get your pick in there, 2 of them at the same time, and pull it together close to be able to pull it out. All right, so that's really all it is. Just one in this hole, one in that hole, pull the 2 together, and then just pull it out. That's really all it is in the end. So if you take them out beforehand, before trying to pull the valve cover off, it's definitely going to be much easier for you in the long run. It's going to be a big headache for you, because you're going to find out you got to get those sleeves out of there, and now your valve cover is up, and just trust me, do that in the right order. Save yourself a big problem in the end. So I'm just setting these all in order. And I know I'm talking way too much on this thing. I hate when I hear other people talking on these, and here I am doing that, but now I know why they do it. Something to keep this, help pass the time. That seems so weird, but just but silence. All right, so I have those out. So I still have to remove that wire back here, and I'm going to do that after I get this tube off right here. And for that, I'm sure you may be able to watch a video on doing that the better way. But I think some people put put things in both sides over here to hold them out. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be able to but right now I'm not wiggling it, I'm just trying to go straight back. Just a little wiggle. I just lied. There's a little wiggle that I'm doing. Let me get over on the other side to get a bit more better leverage. It was a bit of a pull to get it off last time, so I'm hoping that because I took it off once, it'll come out a little easier this time. It's a bit out. It's almost there. I don't know, get you guys a little closer back there. I don't think you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm back there in the back getting this off. This is where I thought in those videos that I saw where the that PCV valve I showed you guys earlier would go. But once I got back here, I realized, nope, there's no PCV valve. At least the one that I ended up paying 45 bucks from FCP Euro. Even on their thing, they had it listed as for this car. But, and maybe it is someplace else, but I don't think so. Either way, I'm working to get this off of here. I'm almost there. I know I've seen some guys just pull it off relatively easy, but it hasn't been easy for me, so hopefully it is easy for you. I'm sure somebody can throw down in the notes on the video which, if it's a quicker, easier way to get that off. But see, the clamps on the side isn't holding it. Right now it seems to be more of just pure pressure. Seems to be holding it in. Again, real world. Hopefully it goes a little easier for you guys than for removing this than it is for me. But it is what it is. I think actually the first time it came off even sooner than this. It was still a big pain, but I think it came off still a bit easier. Let me get back over here. I think I get better leverage over here. I don't want to break the neck by wiggling it, so I'm trying to go straight back as much as possible. There we go. Now we've got some movement. Not enough yet. It's almost there. It's right on the end. There we go. Got it. It's off. Now, again, whoever knows how to do it the right way, please post up. That is off. Nothing's broken. So I'll just move that out of the way. And that will give me much better access now to the number 6 wire back there, which is also not the easiest to remove. Not as hard as that though. So I'm going to get back there and get this off. I don't think it's going to be bad, not from this angle. From over on the other side of the car, I think it looked more difficult than what it was. So there we go. It's off. And now with that out of the way, now I can pop up the ignition coil to get that wire off, and I should be able to pull that off, and hopefully the sleeve come out equally as easy as well. Let's see here, right here. There we go, and I do see the sleeve, so I'm just going to keep saying that. This is not how it's going to happen for you if you're removing it for the first time. The sleeves most likely will not be coming out with the injectors. I mean with the ignition coils. All right, so now all of that is out of the way. Now we want to be able to remove this whole wire track over here out of the way, and to do that we have to remove, I believe, 2 bolts, and I believe they're 10 millimeters. There's one here, and I believe the other one is right on the other side of that tube that goes down to the turbo. Now, because those are open tubes, which are begging you to drop something down on, my suggestion is to stuff something inside of each one of them just to be safe. So what I'm doing, I'm getting something to stuff down in there, in each one of them, just to make sure there's no chance of me dropping anything down them. So you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Oops. Trying to get the orientation here. So this tube right here is right near the front. That's where one of the tubes came off of that you removed. So I'm just going to stick some down in there. I'll back up a little bit so you have an idea of where I'm at. And then of course the one that we can't remove, back in the back there, is the other one that we're going to stuff it down. All right, so that's just to make sure we don't drop anything down there. So now we're going to take the 10 millimeter and take those 2 bolts out. All right, so back that out a little bit. Get a 10 millimeter, which I don't have over here. And let's see here, there's my 10. And we're going to loosen those up. And where'd it go? One here, and then the other behind that turbo tube. That's my name for it, the turbo tube. All right. I just want to get back there just to at least be able to loosen it up. All right. Now that it's loose, I'll go in and do it by hand to remove it. That's one out. There's one. And we'll get the other one. All right. I don't want to drop it because this is my only 10 millimeter socket, because as we know, on German made and Japanese made cars, the number 10 is probably the most used, the 10 millimeter is probably the most used bolt on them. And also too, this is a great time to change your spark plugs too, if you feel that it's needed. So now with those 2 out of the way, I should be able to just freely move this around to some degree. All right. So I think there was something that would, oh, there's 2 plugs. Let me see if I can bring you in over here. There are a couple of plugs you want to disconnect over here to get these out of the way. So there's number 1, and then behind here, as you can see it down there, there's number 2 right here. So they're real easy. You just push this part in right here and pull it out. That's it. And you do the exact same thing for the other. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, there's no big thing where, ooh, what if I mix them up? I think lengthwise for the wires and the way they have formed themselves to that curve, that it is probably kind of difficult to mix them up. What I'm going to do is, to get that one, I'm just going to use a flathead to apply pressure. Oops, while I take that out. All right, just going to use a flathead, which I have somewhere around here, to apply pressure, because I can't get my finger down up in between there. Not because they're big fingers, it's just not a lot of room. And there we go, now it's off. So I believe that helps out a lot with helping your ability to move this wire loom around. And what I'm going to do here is, let me bring this in again. Sometimes it's nice to be able to get up close and personal. I'm going to bring you in, and so, all right, so for these two right here, I'm going to disconnect this over here. It's just a little clip around it to hold those in. You'll lose it if you don't keep your hands on it, because once you disconnect one side, I think the other side kind of come loose. And that's it right here. So, yeah, real easy. And a reason I took that off is because I believe, I'm only saying believe, it will help me out. It may, or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. To be able to help move this around. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is get myself enough room. Now, to be able to get yourself a little bit extra room, what happened is these wires right here, come back so you can see. These wires right here run behind the valve cover, and there's a little clip back there, a little pressure clip really, that holds them up, like a little shelf that holds them up. And that's on top of the valve cover. Now once you lift them up, you stick your hand back there. Once you stick your hand back there, you should be able to lift them up to be able to get them off of there. And then that will give you a little bit more playroom with your wires. So I'm just going back there, and they're really just lifting them. Is it up or is it out? Yeah, just lifting them up out of that little metal plastic, that little metal clip, pressure clip. That's one out, and that's two out, and that's three out. So it's three of them in that same little pressure clip. All three wires are kind of just laying in there in that same clip. So once you take one out, it should be easy to get the other two out. So of course you can't see that, it's more just filling around, but getting that extra room is definitely a good thing. Another thing too is, take it off again, is up here on the valve cover, you got this hose right here. In the end, some people remove them. I haven't been able to figure out how to get that off. So, but there's enough play in there where I don't think you really need to. So you got this, it's over on this end right over here. You see it down into this clip right here. If you just lift it up, it'll come out of that little track, and then you'll get, you know, some extra room with that. So be gentle with it though. Be very gentle with it. So very, very gentle. But if you do that, you should get some extra room from that. I've seen where people were disconnected from either on this side where it runs or on that side behind the oil cooler, the oil housing, oil filter housing, but I haven't found that way to do that. So that to me is the my way. I'm sure I could have Googled it enough to figure it out, but the videos I saw were slightly different than what I had. So now I think we should be able to now lift this up. Yep, so it's up now, and so that should give you the room that you need to be able to do what you need to do. So what I'm going to do first is, I won't worry about that because now I know I can lift it up and out of the way. I'm going to remove, no, I'm not going to remove that because I got so much stuff to touch. I'm going to do something else next.